Old Guy Jamming here with a review of the Marshall DSL 40 CR. It's loud. It's really loud. So I made some notes. We'll get to some tones. It's heavy. It's loud. It's boomy. For the first part of this, I had my ESP that was tuned to C sharp standard. And then for some of the cleaner tracks, I used my PRS semi-hollow body CE22. And just pulled up some good tones. I did make some notes, though. I think this amp excels for blues, rock, and hard rock. I think it's a stretch for metal, but I think it could work as well. That would be kind of a separate review. One thing I didn't do with this was use any pedals. The only pedal I used was a little bit of delay for some of the lead tones. I took the Australian's advice. One thing that really made me want to check this out was him saying that this is an amp you can use without pedals. And I thought, that would be really cool. If you could stick one drive pedal and a delay on it and have it sound great, then wow, that would be really convenient. So I didn't use any pedals on this except a little bit of delay for the lead work. And as typical, I looped a phrase and just noodled over it, giving you some tones. All right. So for hard rock and rock, clean cleans, not so much. I think you'll find it doesn't have enough headroom. You've really got to crank the masters and the clean channel volume and leave the gain really low to get any kind of clean out of it. And at that point, you start having a lot of amp hiss. So I think you'll be wanting more headroom from the clean side. Although, with the new foot switch, it's supposed to be a six-button switch. You can switch between your masters. One of the reasons they have two masters is because this foot switch will allow you to switch between them. So you could have one master very high and another master very low, which would help you with that clean headroom. Overall, I think it sounds really great. And the louder you get it, the better it sounds, just like most Marshalls. The EQ works a lot more, it's a lot more responsive once you get the amp cranked up. Also, the reverb works a lot better once you get the amp cranked up. People say the reverb's too weak, and I would disagree. I think there's plenty of reverb on board. I've found myself turning down the dirty channels reverb, because there was just plenty, especially as you get this thing cranked up, there's plenty of bass, plenty of tonal variety with the EQ, and plenty of reverb. If you want more reverb than that, then you're looking for, probably something like big hall sounds or shimmer, and you'd want to pedal for those anyway. So there's plenty for me. Cabinet's great. It is really heavy, but the cabinet is boomy and bassy. The speaker is great. I think the plus here with Marshall is the crunch. That dirty channel on the crunch side, Overdrive 1, is just in your face crunchy. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then the Overdrive 2 is just, the lead tone on Marshalls is just, it's hard to explain, but it's searing and yet smooth. It's perfectly compressed, doesn't muddy up on the bottom end much, and if it does, you can just flip back over to your bridge pickup, and it's right where you'd want it. Great sustain, perfectly compressed, searing and smooth. I mean, that lead tone rips, and it's great. It's great. The interesting thing on the clean channel, when you switch from clean or channel 1, Overdrive 1 to Overdrive 2 on the clean to crunch, there's quite a bit of volume jump. So the new button foot switch, even if you're switching there's going to be a pretty significant volume jump. However, on the other channel, on the dirty channel, from Overdrive 1 to Overdrive 2, there isn't a huge volume drop, which is good. And as you turn the gain up, you really don't have too much increase in volume, which I thought was really nice too. It's really nice for mixing your levels from tone to tone, switch to switch. So that was a nice feature, I thought. And then the new foot switch, reportedly Thomann in the UK has put several out apparently, and people are giving some positive feedback that it does work. They're not available here, apparently. Not yet, but apparently they're coming. The part number in the manual apparently is wrong. It's a 961016 or 91016, I believe, pedal. Don't quote me on that. But with that, you're going to be able to switch between OD1, OD2, clean and crunch, as well as reverb on off, master 1 or master 2, and effects loop, apparently. Don't ask me how they're going to do it, but and there's a lot of relays. Somehow they'll figure it out. But when you turn it on, you hear all the relays clicking, tick, 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 tick. And it does remember your settings when you switch back and forth between channels. So if you have your clean channel selected and master 1, and then whenever you come back to your clean channel, master 1 will be active. And if you go to your dirty channel, if you're on master 1, it remembers that. But if you switch to master 2 and want it at a slightly different level for some reason, it'll remember that. So it's a pretty cool amp. They're gonna do real well with this. And the effects loop works great. Unlike the 20 CR, the effects loop in this works really well. It is dependent on those master volumes though. If your master volumes are equal, when you switch back and forth, your looping phrase or whatever effect you have in the effects loop will be the same. However, if you have one master high and one master low, when you switch back and forth, your signal, whether it's delay or some time-based effect or a loop, is going to also be either high or low, depending on the master you're switching to or that you've set up with that channel. That should all make sense. All right, old guy jamming. Here with some tones. Enjoy. So there you have some tones from the Marshall 40 DSL CR. Is it for me? No, I have plenty of big, bulky, loud amps, and it is loud and it's heavy. My back can't take it, but it does rock, and it does take up a bit of space, though. I think I will go back to the 5 CR. I think I'll sell my Blackstar HT 5R. Whoa, does anybody ever do that? And I think I'll pick up that Marshall 5 CR because it was just plush. Really nice and perfect for in-home, for bedroom use, for apartment use. But this thing does rock. If you are a gigging musician, or if you're just looking to buy a new amp, getting into something and don't have a lot of gear already, this is going to be a really fun instrument for you to play through. So go grab one up. We'll see you next time.